Hello everyone, my name is Debbie Jones-Snyders and I'm delighted to welcome children and families to Hopedale Presbyterian Church's Church School Lessons and Crafts. Our story today is Breakfast on the Shore, or could also be called Jesus Questions and Reinstates Peter. The story is adapted from Mission Bible Class with images by Arabs for Christ and accessed through Free Bible Images. We have a variety of coloring pictures for you today, and we have two crafts. One is Feed My Sheep poster, and the other is an aquarium, a paper plate aquarium. And we have a variety of other activities as well for you today. So to access the templates on the activities, please contact church office at hopedalechurch.ca. So after Jesus died and was then resurrected, he remained on the earth for 40 days. In today's story, we are going to learn about a time when Jesus made breakfast for his friends. Jesus questions and reinstates Peter. The apostles were all very happy that Jesus had been raised from the dead. They had seen Jesus a few times since he had been resurrected. And one day, Peter said, "I'm going out to fish." Thomas, Nathanael, James, and John, and two other disciples decided to go along with him. They all went to the Sea of Galilee and got into a boat. The way the fishermen would fish was to put their nets into the water and pull them up to see if the fish were inside. People liked to fish at night because lots of fish came to the surface of the water and the fishermen could catch them. Usually that worked, but not this time. Peter, James, John, and the others fished all night, but they did not catch any fish. They tried throwing the net on the right side of the boat and then the left side, but they just couldn't catch any fish. Early in the morning, they looked up and saw someone on the beach. The man yelled and asked them if they had caught any fish. When they said no, the man yelled again, "Throw your nets on the right side of the boat and you will find some fish." The fishermen probably wondered about that. After all, they had been throwing the net on both sides all night, and they hadn't caught anything yet. Why should they do it again? Finally, they decided to give it a try and cast their nets off the right side of the boat. And when they started to pull the net up, they saw that there were fish in it. There were lots of fish in the net. In fact, there were so many fish that the 7 apostles could not even lift the net into the boat. They decided to head for shore and pull the net beside the boat. Then John looked at the beach again. He took a closer look at the man standing there. Wait a minute. The man looked familiar. It was Jesus. When John told everyone, Peter got very excited. He really wanted to see Jesus again, so he jumped into the water. Peter made his way to shore, while the others followed with the boat and net full of fish. When Peter and the apostles got to the shore, they saw that Jesus had a fire going and some fish already cooking. "Bring some of the fish you caught, and we will eat them too," Jesus said. "We will eat breakfast on the beach." Peter and the others brought some of the fish. There were plenty left because they had caught 153 big fish. Jesus fed the apostles a big breakfast of fish and bread. Would you like to eat fish for breakfast? While they were eating the breakfast, Peter was probably thinking back to another time when they had all eaten together. Peter loved Jesus, but he had done something he was very sorry for. A few weeks ago, when Jesus and the apostles had been eating the Last Supper together, Peter told Jesus that he would be willing to die for him. Then, when Jesus was arrested, Peter got scared. He did not die for Jesus. He had not been brave at all. He told people that he did not know Jesus. He denied Christ 3 times. Peter wondered if Jesus could ever forgive him. After breakfast, Jesus asked Peter a question. Peter, do you really love me? Peter answered, you know that I love you, Lord. Jesus then said, feed my lambs. Then Jesus asked again, Peter, do you really love me? Peter answered again, you know I love you, Lord. Take care of my sheep, Jesus repeated. Finally, Jesus asked again, Peter, do you love me? Peter was hurt that Jesus kept asking him. Asking the question 3 times reminded him of the 3 times he had denied Christ. Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. Peter, feed my sheep. Jesus had forgiven Peter. He told Peter that he would someday die for Jesus. Jesus said to Peter, follow me, and Peter did. Peter would always follow Jesus. Quickly saying sorry for the bad things we do and accepting God's forgiveness help us to do God's work better. God knows that we are not perfect, but he wants to use us anyway. Jesus shows us that forgiving others is part of caring for them. Let's all try to forgive others just the way Jesus forgives us. We have several activities for you, depending on your age level, interest, and ability. You'll need to print the templates. There are several coloring pictures. I'll show you some of them. There are 2 crafts. The first craft is a Feed My Sheep craft, and the second one is a paper plate aquarium. So here is the Feed My Sheep picture, and you will need to print the template. In addition to the template, you will also need construction paper. You will need things to color with or draw with, and glue, as well as cotton batting or little cotton balls. So once you have printed the picture, you can color the face, draw some hearts and color them, write Feed My Sheep, and glue the picture onto the construction paper. Then you will need to put glue on the body of the sheep and get some cotton batting or pieces of, well, cotton balls or cotton batting and glue them on for the picture. If you want to hang it up, again, you'll need a yarn, cut some yarn and get a hole puncher and punch 2 holes and put the yarn through and hang it up. But here is feed my sheep. And that's what Jesus asks us to do. And that really means to love them and take care of them and spread the message about Jesus. Our second craft is an aquarium. And there are a couple ways you can do it. I have a picture here of if you wanted to paint instead of using construction paper, you could definitely paint it. You will need 2 paper plates. You will need scissors, construction paper, the templates of the fish and the plants, some markers, a hole puncher, and some cut yarn, and if you have a stapler, that's an easier way of putting the 2 pieces together. So what you want to do is, once you've printed the templates, it's great, get your 2 paper plates. In this case, it's easy to cut out the middle of one of the paper plates. I use this as a pattern to cut out blue construction paper. I just made it a little bit bigger than the cutout portion of the plate. And then I glued the blue construction paper to one of the bottom plate. And I printed fish and the plants and colored them and cut them out and glued them on. And then I also cut out, okay, yeah, so this is part, you can see that this goes, we have one plate that has the construction paper on it, and the other plate has a hole in the center. So you turn that over, and then you can staple or glue the edges. It's good to decorate the outside edges of the plate before you staple it. We can put a hole punch there and tie cut yarn, and there you have your aquarium. And if you choose to paint it, you can also do paint. You could paint it if you like. I just did it with the construction paper, and I'll show you the. So the templates for the aquarium are pretty straightforward. You can pick whatever fish you want, as well as the plants. We have other activities for you as well. We have a crossword, a word search, word search and maze. So this week, remember that it's important to turn away from doing bad things and ask for forgiveness. And try not to do those bad things again. Jesus shows us that forgiving others is part of caring for them. It's important to take care of others, not only for ourselves, but especially for Jesus. This shows that we are helping or feeding God's people. Have a great week, everyone.